Echinacea is a well-known herb as it is used by many people to help improve the health of their immune system. You can find this herb in just about any health food store and can probably find it in places like Walmart, Target, and even pharmacies such as Walgreens and CVS. Many people will take echinacea when they have a cold, although it really is more effective to prevent the onset of a cold. In fact, during the winter months, I usually take an herbal complex which consists of a combination of echinacea and andrographis, which does a great job of preventing the development of the cold or the flu. But getting back to echinacea, can this herb help someone who has Graves' disease? When I was first diagnosed with Graves' disease, I consulted with a holistic doctor who advised me to take numerous supplements and herbs, including echinacea. I was somewhat hesitant to take this at first, as I had read some sources which claimed that echinacea boosted the immune system, and therefore I was concerned that it would potentially worsen my autoimmune thyroid condition. So does echinacea worsen the autoimmune response? Well, to make a long story short, I took echinacea for many months without a problem after initially being diagnosed with Graves' disease, which brings up another myth which states that people shouldn't take echinacea for longer than 2 months. Some sources state that one shouldn't take it too long because it can cause side effects, while others state that it loses its effectiveness after 2 months. Now, don't get me wrong, as I don't recommend for my patients to take echinacea on a permanent basis, but when I do recommend for them to take this herb, it usually is longer than 2 months. Kerry Bone, who is a well-known herbalist with over 20 years of experience, uses echinacea on many of his patients with autoimmune conditions. Now, besides taking it when I was initially diagnosed with the autoimmune thyroid condition, I also frequently recommend it to my patients with Graves' disease and usually don't encounter any problems. Every now and then there will be someone who takes echinacea and doesn't feel right, but this is rare and can apply to other supplements and herbs, as some people do have sensitivity to certain herbs. Now, of course, the same can be said with medication for hyperthyroidism as well, as I've consulted with numerous patients who didn't do well when taking methimazole, PTU, or a beta blocker. Does echinacea boost the immune system? Echinacea is immune modulating and it does enhance the immune system, but once again, this does not mean that this herb exacerbates the autoimmune response. Now, some may argue with this, but there are no scientific studies which prove that echinacea is harmful for autoimmune conditions. And I realize there are sources which state that echinacea stimulates a Th1 pathway, which can cause problems with someone who is Th1 dominant. And since most people are supposedly Th1 dominant, this would mean that most people wouldn't do well when taking echinacea. But once again, most people with Graves' disease seem to do fine when taking echinacea. And of course, if someone isn't responding well, then they could always stop taking it. With any herb, the quality is very important, and this of course applies to echinacea as well. When I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, I took a combination of Echinacea purpurea and Echinacea angustifolia. The root is more effective than the leaf, which many people don't realize. The dosage, of course, will depend on the person taking it as well as the form you take, as it can be taken as a liquid, capsule, or tablet. I started with the liquid and then, due to convenience, switched over to the tablets. So hopefully you realize that echinacea can be useful for people with Graves' disease. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone with this condition needs to take this herb, and there are other supplements and herbs they might need to take, along with eating well, managing their stress, and so on. But while echinacea is looked at by many as an herb that can help with the common colds, it can also play an important role in autoimmune thyroid conditions such as Graves' disease. To receive more natural health tips on hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease, please visit the website gravesdiseasebook.com, where you can get a free guide entitled The 6 Steps on How to Treat Hyperthyroidism and Graves' Disease Through Natural Methods. This guide contains 100% pure content and is not a sales pitch for any product or service. And you also might want to check out my book entitled Natural Treatment Solutions for Hyperthyroidism and Graves' Disease, which you can find on Amazon or the Barnes & Noble website. And this is a real book and not just an ebook I quickly put together. Thank you for watching this presentation, as I hope you found the information to be valuable.